Sergei's dream, childhood's dream, was to be a scientist. He's trying to run experiments. It's awful. You can read manuals for that. You don't need to make so many mistakes. Uh, if you made many mistakes but were clearly going in a direction that would give some return or seemed as someone who had a goal, but you're just random, a random child, a random bot, the bot moderator. So Sergey's dream was to be a scientist. Yeah, maybe he wanted to go to Mir, the space agency of Russia, maybe. So I discovered a new trick, putting the crouching on hold instead of toggle. I had this idea after playing with my friend Facchetti. So Rafael Facchetti. I didn't know he he asked like, do you crouch on toggle or hold to anyone? And I was like, oh, I know that is the option, but I never really stopped and took a moment to think about it. Crouch on hold definitely has several advantages. Several advantages. So, well, I think I'll experiment with crouch on hold. Now I know how the pros, even after practicing so much on training mode, some pros were just insanely fast. The way they crouch, crouch, shoot, stand up, uh, peek, crouch, go out of cover, crouch again, peek, shoot. It's insane. So maybe some of these pro players are using crouch or hold, and I see many of them play with them, and they are crouching all the time. How do they do that? So that's called, I think that's called crouch spamming, and I learned on the web. You do that by using crouch on hold. Well, I will experiment with that. So far the results have been good. I quickly adjusted to using the sprint on toggle. I can sprint on toggle, and now I can crouch spam while running. That's insane. And I can run while crouched, because it's very hard to press two buttons at the same time with a single finger. But if sprint is on toggle, I can just press it with another finger. I just need to press it once, so it's a no-brainer. Uh, so yeah, maybe a keyboard designed for gaming for PUBG, and not designing for typing, but designed for gaming for PUBG. We won't need shit like double keybinds anymore, I think, or even pressing two keys at the same time, like some very skilled players do. I don't think we might need this shit anymore if we do the keyboard 3.0 that I proposed earlier. So wow, many advantages of crowd spamming. So I noticed the pros, no, they go peek out of cover, crouch, everything very fast. I don't remember if they peek first or they crouch first. Then they shoot, and they stand up and go back to cover, because if you stand up you move faster. But I was pressing the crouch, and it's crouch on toggle. It's very slow. So now I can do it way faster with crouch on hold. So it feels weird at first, but I will go on with this experiment. I will practice a few days, maybe a week, with the crouch on hold, and I'm hopeful for the future. Maybe this will work. Maybe this will help me in the game, in playing better. In playing better. So I'm excited for the future. I'm not saying this is gonna work, because that's what experiments are about the unknown. So I'm not saying this is gonna work. I just gonna try it and see for myself the results. But yeah, I saw some streamers. They were moving, crouching all the time, and I tried that, and man, it's impossible. But now I know how they do it. I think they use crouch spamming with the crouch on hold. Maybe they do that. So, well, I think that's it for today. I think that's it for today. So yeah, when I thought I knew almost everything about PUBG, and now I have the knowledge, just need to put in practice. I realize that is even more. I don't know. Man, what a rich and deep game. This is uh there is some depth in the flavor of PUBG gaming mechanics, gameplay mechanics. It's very deep. So, well, I'll just close by saying that before I was like a jack of all trades and master of none. I play game after game, hundreds of games, and I barely remember them now. And I was master of none. I spent maybe 20, 30 hours per game, sometimes 10 hours, sometimes 5 hours. I beat the game in 5 hours. So it's pretty obvious why I was a speed runner, right? So sometimes 5, 10 hours and hundreds of games. PUBG, a single game with thousands of hours, past 1,000 hours, and I still don't know everything about the game. That's what's about mastering anything in life. So, uh, being a jack of all trades, maybe it's not as bad as it sounds, but it's not something I think would work for the entire life. It would work forever. To live my entire life, the rest of eternity, like that, playing game after game, spending 5, 10 hours, 20 hours, 40 hours at most on average. And on a really outlier game, 100, 150 hours, but not more than that. I never got past 150 hours. And that was 1, 2 games. All the rest were like, after over hundreds of games, over 10, 20 hours. So, man, I don't think this is healthy. You can do that for a time, but I think everyone needs to choose something and specialize. So, of course, that is the generalist formation, so you get a knowledge about everything, but eventually you have to settle on something. And PUBG is perfect for that because it's a really deep game. It's the deepest game I've ever seen in my life and I've ever heard of. From what I hear, this is one of the deepest games I've seen. Uh, so much in the game. A huge map, many locations to get familiarized and get the map knowledge and awareness. You go by vehicle, air vehicle, watercraft, right? And terrain vehicles. You go on foot, you go on motorcycles, you travel around the map, you have to position yourself. The circle is there is a RNG element to it, so each match you will probably need a different strategy for each match because of the circle positioning and the flight path. So and the players who are playing because they are probably not the same players as before. So each player plays the game on his own way. So and the weapons, wow, now the meat of the game, the weapons and attachments, how the weapons feel and how you control the weapons without attachments, with attachments, so many attachments, so many different combinations. as IMC Dome told us earlier. And you have recoil, the best recoil I've ever seen in my life. True, I don't know much about shooters, but from the few shooters I played, this is the best recoil I've ever seen. It's really cool trying to master it. And you have to you have so many intricacies to it, and it makes a lot of sense because real weapons kick up when you shoot them. So the mouse simulates that. You pull the mouse down. So that's brilliant, man. That's genius. And that's the recoil that like I never seen before, like I never seen in any other game. And that's not all. You have the shooting. Each weapon behaves its own way. You have the bullet velocity. So not just gravity. There is gravity, so the bullet drops, but there is air drag as well, because the bullet's velocity changes with the distance. If my Google source is correct, that is the muzzle velocity, and the muzzle velocity is the velocity that the bullet has when it leaves the muzzle, the barrel, so through the muzzle. As it travels through the air, the velocity will decrease due to the air drag. The air drag will be an opposing force that will decelerate the bullet velocity. So uh, over long distances, this makes a lot of sense and makes a lot of difference. So you have to zero, you have to lead targets. So yeah, uh, uh, it's ridiculous. Other games, the bullets travel in a straight line. A professor of mine would say that there are no such thing as a straight line. There are no straight lines. It doesn't exist. So there is no straight lines in the universe. So in other games, in the PUBG clones, the bullets follow a straight line. So but in PUBG, bullets have velocity. So the muzzle velocity and then the velocity decreases. I don't know the name of the velocity on when it reaches the target or the the final destination where it reaches the zero velocity. Uh, Maybe when there is the impact and the bullet gets glued to somewhere. It can reflect, of course, if it's like a metallic surface. But let's say like the bullet stops somewhere on the ground, like Miramar, on the ground made of dirt or sand. So I don't know. Maybe the I could call this stopping velocity. I don't know if this is actually the name. So man, so much in this game, and the parachuting. So you parachute, you have to master the parachute. So when I first played the game, I thought this game is so bugged they couldn't implement parachuting. This parachute is impossible. I never drop where I want. So now, playing 1000 hours, I have no issue with the parachuting. And I like it. It's my favorite parachuting out of all BRs because it's the one that makes the most sense. I parachuted once and it's not trivial. So not trivial that I needed help by an instructor who went with me. So parachuting in real life is not trivial. I'm not saying it's impossible. I think anyone can do it, even though I didn't do it. But I never did it. But I think anyone can do it with practice, with training. So in PUBG is the same. So parachuting as hard as it is in real life, or maybe even a little bit more, because it's a video game. So a real challenge can be the best fun, right? So uh, different maps. So each map there are different locations, different mechanics, even different weapons. So now like the Tego has the wildlife, Man, I'm curious to see how this would work. Uh, Wildlife that reacts to player movement, player presence. Uh, and the audio. I try to remember everything. I won't remember everything. It's too much. But the audio in the game. So man, it's masterclass. No other game is like PUBG. So maybe the other developers, when they look at PUBG, why do they put so much effort in this audio? We don't need this shit. It's too complex. So let's streamline this. So they cut off the audio. So the audio is garbage in the other games. So in PUBG, it's I don't know. I would say it's virtually perfect. You listen the audio from there, you look there, you can expect there is something there. So you listen behind you, you can, oh, it's behind me. So you turn around. Sometimes a little above me, a little below me. So it's truly. Uh, I think it's only stereo audio, but it works miracles, man. It works wonders. So man, it's a really deep game. I had 1,000 hours. I thought I had all the knowledge. I know all the theory about PUBG. Now I just need to put in practice. But I don't. I don't. So that's about mastering. So before on my PS4, I was a jack of all trades, a master of none. Now I'm becoming a master, and it's no coincidence that the highest rank in PUBG is called master. So you really have to master the game and focus on the game, like on really getting really good in it. So what's the point? I can do a lot of stuff, a lot of different things like crap. So the point in PUBG is like, let's do PUBG, but let's do it great. Let's do like pro. Let's master. Let's perfect the craft, the art of PUBG. So, well, what else can I learn with PUBG? I don't know. I think I still have a lot to learn about the attachments, but I go on baby steps as usual. Today I couldn't hold myself. I kept experimenting with the different attachments, but I think uh, I will uh, I will try in the future experiment even more with the attachments in the training mode, and uh, so it's really a game that calls you into outperforming your own self. So breaking boundaries and seeing how far you can go. So it's beyond the game, it's beyond the screen, it's outside the box. So I play PUBG, I realize if I do KovaaK, I might improve my aiming, which in turn will help me in firefights by having a much better mouse control. And if I do fitness, it will also help me. It will brighten my mood. It will make me to go outside and breathe a different air than just being inside all the time. Boxed inside my house, my home compound, and I can take some fresh air and see God's creation and do some exercise, have a sunbath, then take a delicious shower to wash my sweat and feel relaxed uh, and really brighten my mood. Uh, I watch pros playing. I read guides. I read books. I watch videos explaining PUBG how it works. So man, it's great. It's truly great. I thought the fart lord would say something now, but the fart lord is speechless. I'll kill him no matter how many times I have to. I'll murder the fart lord. You know, I'll never forget the way. the mother of his children looked at me. You know, both moments when I fucked her and then when I made the fart lord to cleanse it with his mouth, the blood out of my cock. So I'll never forget the way that the mother of his children looked at me. So yeah, I fucked the mother of his children and then I got dirty with her blood all over my cock. So I made the fart lord to cleanse it with his mouth. And man, it was like never ending. And then in the end, I got just okay, get out, get out, get out. It's enough. It's already clean, man. It's already clean. And he wouldn't abandon it, no matter how hard I tried. And out of pity, I just okay, suck it all you want, suck it all you want. So I'll never forget the way the mother of his children looked at me. I'll never forget that. So that's PUBG. Let's see if this crouch spamming is gonna work. Let's see if this crouch on hold will work. So different mouse grips. Now I'm trying the claw grip. Maybe it's better. Maybe it's better. Actually, I think I'm doing a hybrid between a palm and a claw. Something in between. But more claw than palm. Okay. So yeah. Long story short, I was a jack of all trades and master of none in the past, playing hundreds of games for a few hours. So I guess it's much better. I feel like I'm learning something, I'm improving by trying so hard in PUBG. I'm far from being good, but trying so hard on breaking my own boundaries and seeing how far I can get as a human being is truly satisfying. And even the slight progress in PUBG is truly rewarding. Okay, so that's it for today. I think it's time for me to go to bed. It's midnight. I need to wake up early tomorrow, so